Hey, so today we are all about graphing lines. So we're going to bring out some people to play with here. Let's see who you recognize. Let's see who you remember. Let's see what vocabulary comes to your head as we put these items down. So welcome aboard our first contestant. Y equals mx plus b. All right. If you said slope-intercept form, congratulations there. Yeah, this is our fast way of graphing. And so what we want to remind ourselves here that this B is known as the y-intercept, where M is our slope that we're after. So we're not going to be using graph paper because we want to be able to talk more through what we're doing. And it's good just to be able to get your estimates out. It's fast, it's efficient, and it'll speed things up more importantly and still make sure that we're retaining our information. So, for example, if we're doing slope-intercept form and we've got something like y equals 2/3 x minus, let's go 1. So when we graph, let's see what you remember here. Pause and graph away if you think you can. Again, when we sketch here, we're just going to put a little XY axis down. So let's see here. Your y-intercept is where you want to start at first. So we're going to start at this -1, which means, sorry, some noise out there, which means that we're going to go down to -1 on our x-axis. And that's going to be our first location that we're after. The next one is our slope. And our slope is whoever's in front of our x term. It is m, represented by slope that's there. And we use the phrase of slope being rise over run. So the first number is a 2. So we're going to be rising 2. So we're going to go up 2 spots. So 1 spot, 2 spots. And then we are going to run 3 spots. So because it's a positive, we're going to go to the right because that's where numbers go when they're positive, to the right. So we're going to go over 1 spot, 2 spots, 3 spots. And there's our location. What this allows us to do is, hey, we started at -1, we went up 2, we went over 3, we've now got our 2 points, and now we can connect, extend, and get your arrows on the end. Teachers love the arrows on the end, don't forget them. So yeah, there's your basics. So there's our graphing that we're looking at, rise over our run. Let's bring someone else out as well, all right, and that is the idea of Ax plus by equals C. All right. Who is this? Well, this is known as standard form. So when we graph, we talked about slope-intercept form, and the benefits of that is allows us to quickly go to the y-intercept, figure out the slope, and we can start plotting points. Standard form is used more for finding both the intercepts. So the y-intercept, like we saw in the previous problem, but it also allows us to find the x-intercept rather quickly. And then that's what gives us our 2 points so we can graph it. So in this particular problem, let's look at someone like, let's try 3x plus 5y, and let's say equals, how about, let's make it rather friendly here. Let's say 15. So we have this particular equation. Now, the one thing I could do is I could go ahead and write this into slope-intercept form. I could subtract my 3x over, I could divide everyone by 5 to get the y by itself, and that is going to work. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. The idea, though, is in this particular form, it allows me to find the intercepts. So if I plug in 0 for x, and remember in your ordered pairs, the x is the first term. What that's going to do is that's going to simply take out the 3x because, well, 3 times 0, 0. And now I can solve the equation. 5y equals 15. Divide both sides by 5. Hey, we're going to get a 3 here. I told you I was going to make this one nice on you. So there's my there's one of my 2 intercepts. So the ordered pair is 0, 3. So 0, don't go left to right. Go up 1, 2, and 3. And there we are. So that is our y-intercept because it's where it crosses the y-axis at. All right, so let's go back and let's put our 3x back in there. Now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up plugging in my 0 for my y, because that's going to give me my x-intercept. So plug the 0 in for y. Well, that's nice because 5 times 0 is 0. And that's why a lot of times you'll hear like, hey, just cover it up. Put your finger right over it there. Yeah, because it's gone. Solve this equation. I can divide both sides by 3. Hey, I'm going to get 5. Like I said, we're going to make this nice for you here. So with that particular case, all right, let's go back. That's going to tell me it's a 5 that's there. So I'm going to go over 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put my point because I'm not going to go up or down at all. Now I've got my 2, and there we go. All right. So again, standard form, Ax plus by equals c. The x is first, the y is second, and then the plain old number, the constant, is just hanging out on the other side of your equal sign that's there. Now, just from a practice standpoint, let's do it. Let's have you rewrite this into slope-intercept form, because you might see this technique and might go, I don't know about this. So let's watch and see what happens. 3x plus 5y equals 15. So if I'm going to go slope-intercept, like I said before, we're going to subtract, not the 5y. We want to get the y by itself. We're going to subtract the 3x over. All right. Now, I can't do 15 minus 3x, not like terms. So everyone's just going to hang out. It's a 5y. It's an equal sign. And because I want slope-intercept form, the x comes first. I'm going to put it down first. So let's take a moment here. I'm subtracting, so that 3 is a negative. The 15 is a positive. That's why there's a plus sign that's there. Now I need to isolate that y, so I need to divide everyone by 5. So 5y divided by 5, just a y. Negative 3 divided by 5, nah, can't do it. It's fraction in simplest form. So it's just going to stay your negative 3x over your 5. And now you can start to see the developmenting of the slope-intercept form. And then 15 divided by 5 gives me a 3. No need to redo the graph because we're going to show you how it works. So, oops. I'm wondering why I put that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's see. What did we do with it? Did we subtract it over? Let's check and make sure. Oh, no, it was over, so it's a positive. It's a positive. That's there. All right. And I can verify that because look, there's my y-intercept. And look, up, 1, 2, 3, point there. Here's my slope, that negative 3/5. So rise over run. So since that first number is a negative, I'm dropping down 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm running 5. It's a positive 5, so right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. So it works. So you might see that standard form and be like, don't really like that. Don't really like the rewriting that's there. I would rather do the intercepts, the x and the y, and plugging in the 0 for x, plugging 0 for y. That's a big ticket item. That's something you're going to need into Algebra 2. So it's good to know the techniques. A lot of what you're going to find is you want to be aware of them because there's not a best way for each problem. You might start off one way on a problem and be like, this isn't working. And then go, oh, let me just rewrite in the slope-intercept form. And suddenly you're like, well, this was nice. And sometimes it flips around as well. So again, you're going to kind of pick whether you like the rewriting the slope-intercept, whether you want to stay in that standard form just to find both the intercepts to connect your dots and make them there. So that's it for today. Oh, no. You get one to graph by yourself. All right, you get one to graph by yourself there. So I'm going to go into slope-intercept. All right. And let's have you graph away. Go ahead and pause. All right. So did you throw down your XY axis? Little arrows on the end. Did you notice it's a -2? So did you go down to -2 on your y-axis? All right. Did you notice your slope is a -2/3? So rise over run. So did you drop 2 more? And did you run 3 to the right? 1, 2, and 3. And I can keep this pattern going. Down 2, to the right 3. I don't need to put in my x on the x. You don't need to. We can just ding, ding, ding. And you're going to see those little steps that are there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Some of you guys are going to like that a lot better. Big fan of kind of darkening them in. I made 3 points by doing that. But now you can kind of see they're all kind of there. All right. Now it's a sketch, so it's not going to be perfect if we continue on it. But we get the idea here. One more thing we want to look at here is negative 2/3 the exact same as 2 negative thirds? I know it's kind of sound weird to say that there. Yeah, it is. All right. So remember, in division, if you have different signs, your answer is negative. So as long as one of them is negative, one of them is positive, the number is negative. And so you can see what happens here with that positive 2. You're going up 2 now. 1, 2. And the left 3. 1, 2, 3. And hello, there you are. So again, nice little technique that's there. All right. But yeah, if you rewrite it into standard form, let's have you do that. And let's watch what ends up happening here. See if you can do it by yourself. If not, hey, keep it playing. That's there. I'm going to add the 2/3 x over. Because remember, I need the x's and the y's on the same side. So I've got 2/3 x plus y equals negative 2. All right. Now, officially, we're not done. Because in standard form, the a term, so whoever's with the x, has to be a positive, and it can't be a fraction. Well, so because it's a fraction, I've got to get rid of that 3 in the denominator. So to do that, we're going to multiply everyone by 3. Remember, we have to be consistent. We've got to multiply it to everyone that's there. So by doing that, all right, that's just going to give me a 2x. A 3 times a y, I'm going to get a 3y. A 3 times a negative 2, I'm going to get a negative 6. That's there. And then real quick, you can cover things up. Plug in the 0 for x. Divide both sides by 3, you're going to get a negative 2. Look at that, 0, negative 2. There we are. And then plug in the 0 for your y. 2x equals negative 6. All right. That's going to give me a negative 3 that I'm looking at there. So there we go. I had to pause for a moment. And that's why I like to write things down typically. There we are to the left to negative 3. And we got you. We got you. All right. So it's a good thing to be aware of. Be able to jump between both of them there. And more importantly, being able to talk yourself through it. We'll see you later.